When Tamara and I got married, we were just kids. Tamara had turned 19 a week before we got married, and I was about 4 months away from being 21. So we were young, just trying to do things the way we were supposed to do. We knew one thing for sure: we loved each other and we wanted to spend the rest of our lives together. We didn't really know how to do that except for just living each day one day at a time and just doing the things that it took to remain a happily married couple. Hasn't always been easy, but you just keep plugging away and just keep doing what you have to do. Now, in our wedding vows, we took them very seriously. We did the old-fashioned wedding vows. Do you take this man, this woman to be your lawfully wedded husband or wife, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health? We did all those things. Till death do us part. And each of those things have become a reality in our marriage. For richer or for poorer, we knew that for richer probably wasn't going to be anything that we came upon anytime soon, because I actually did not have a job when I proposed to her, and she said yes anyway. So we were pretty much set on the poorer side of that whole thing. But as we continued to work and make our way, we've done okay, and we're able to pay our bills just like everybody else. And for better or for worse. Now, that one has not always been so good because, believe it or not, sometimes I'm a lot worse than I am better. Specifically, one period of time, I went through a very long period of anger when I was at a ball game. Have you ever heard that guy at a ball game yelling and screaming and hollering, and you just wonder what in the world's his problem? Well, there was a time period that I was that guy, and it got so bad at a lot of college softball games that Tamara wouldn't even sit next to me. Now, she always stuck right beside me after a ball game. She would take my hand and look at me and shake her head and walk back to the car with me, and we would continue on with our life. I would apologize a lot about how bad I was and promise that I would try to do better. But it went for quite a long period of time. If you don't believe me, just ask anybody within a 100-mile radius about the guy that got thrown out of the ball game in Effingham that was in a wheelchair. Yep, that was me. Have you ever heard of anybody being thrown out of a ball game in a wheelchair? Well, yeah. That was at my worst, and yet she still loved me, and she's still with me. And sickness and in health. A lot of people these days, if their spouse gets sick or in an accident, unfortunately, I've seen it where they can't handle it. They pack up and they're out of there. I'm not going to deal with that. Well, that didn't happen with Tamara Sue. I was in a bad accident 15 years ago, and she was absolutely the best thing in the world for me. She took care of me, did everything she had to do to make sure I was going to be okay. I was very near death for a while, and she was right there by my side and stuck with me right through it, all the way into our house where I was in a hospital bed in our living room for about 4 months, and she was right there taking care of me the whole time. Never complained once to me, just took care of me because she loved me, and that's the thing that she was supposed to do. And you just do those things that you know you're supposed to do to make your marriage work. And as long as we keep God first, others second, and then take care of ourselves, things will work out just fine. Always do that. Look at those three things: God, others, and then you. And you got a pretty good chance of making it work. And this whole till death do us part thing, we might make it. It's been 33 years. I think we got a pretty good head start on it.